I'm Michael Daugherty. I'm the composer of the Metropolis Symphony, which I composed between 1988 and 1993. And it's a work inspired by the 50th anniversary of the celebration of the creation of Superman by two young teenagers in Cleveland back in the 1930s. And I wanted to evoke an American myth, and Superman seemed to be a perfect example of that.
He started writing a series of pieces that were based on the character of Superman. And over 5 years, from 1988 to 1993, he wrote 5 individual pieces that were commissioned by different orchestras, and they were premiered in different parts of the United States. And then in 1994, he put all of these 5 pieces together and created what we know now as the Metropolis Symphony, and it was premiered in Baltimore with David Zinman conducting. And each movement basically captures a character in the story. You all know the story. Superman born Kal-El in the planet Krypton. Right before it's about to explode, his father Jor-El, a scientist who's been warning that the planet is about to come to an end, nobody pays attention to him, could not stand the idea of his son dying, sends him off careening into space, arrives on Earth, raised by a farmer and his wife in Kansas, grows up to be Clark Kent, and somewhere as a young boy realizes that he has special powers and he decides to use them for the good of humanity.
I've always been a huge fan of pop art, and this is probably the most influenced by pop art, where you see like Lichtenstein works, where you'll see like a caption, somebody saying "Oh Lois" or something like that. So to portray the damsel in distress, we have flexitones. You can tell they really enjoy doing that. And then to portray the relationship between Clark Kent and Lois Lane, we have whips. Superman and his ultimate battle to the death with Doomsday. But to evoke this battle of death, we're going to hear a dance of death, and that's the tango. So we'll hear the castanets play the tango. And then over the top of that, we're going to hear the Dies Irae theme, which is the chant of death.
More conductors or more groups started to commission me to write additional movements. And actually I was finished with the work. I'd written 4 pieces. I hadn't written the Red Cape Tango yet, and then suddenly Superman was killed off by DC Comics, and it was the conductor David Zinman who said, "You've got to write one more movement to wrap it all up, the death of Superman." So that's when the Red Cape Tango came up. I had the idea of a dance of death, Red Cape being like the cape of Superman, but also the conductor being like a matador in a bullfight, so to speak, with the red cape kind of conducting the orchestra. And of course, we all know, just like Spock in Star Trek is never going to die, he keeps coming back in Star Trek after his death, we know that Superman was going to come back. So in a sense, the end is triumphant, because we know that the myth of Superman can't die.